Discord message real quick. Move some stuff around. I feel like I'm always like running late to get these things set up. Hey,
We've been gone a long time.
Come on, ad block. All right. It is time. Bitrate looks good. All right. And I have my dashboard open, so we're just going to give a little wait to see if we get anyone to come in real quick. In the meantime, should open up Medibang real quick. Oops. Come on. There we go. Oh yeah. I hope Medibang will let me open stuff, because it was like, oh, your storage is too full and you actually cannot open anything. Shit. Ugh, don't tell me I'm getting bot notifications. Hold on. You are a real person. You, however... Fair enough. Alright. Give me 1 second before, can I open this? Okay, so the cloud capacity is full. Let me find something to delete real quick. Okay, so now we should be able to open this. I might have to subscribe to Premium Medibang. I really don't want to, but I guess we're gonna have to. Get the thing that I want to work on today ready is all. Alright. I think we'll start right now. I do want to start with Blue Sky this time, because we did start with Twitter. Hello, Kamui! Yes, you are the one person that I was hoping for, like, to show up. Let me also just put my phone on Do Not Disturb. Alright. I'm gonna start with Blue Sky today, because last time I did this, I started with, what's it called? With Twitter. Hello! Thank you for the follow, Samantha Parker. And a follow back would be highly appreciated. When I'm done here, let me not do the whole social media manager thing on stream. But yeah, we're starting with Warped Worlds. I believe this person is also Matt Andre. I love their art, and they are doing the whole giveaway thing, so highly recommend to participate in that, because the art here is super cool. Oh, and I love that they have the thing here. Okay, first off, line art, peak. You like, we love the thick line art in this house. We love when people draw, and I think it's great. There are so many like interesting textures going on right here. For starters, I wish my coloring style allowed for me to use textured outlines. It just doesn't, because I use Fill Bucket all the time, but yeah, no, it looks super cool. I love all the textures. I love the expressions so much. I love that it's like, it's very it's like a very like asymmetrical piece, which I love a lot. Like, there's so much like dynamic stuff going on here. Yes, we love thick liner and we love texture. Enough of this smooth gradient stuff, enough of this hiding my outlines stuff. I think it's a very important thing to be bold with your art style. I think it's very important that you just like I think it's important that people's art styles are loud and special, and snooze that ad, shut up. Look at the motion lines here. Like, it blends so perfectly. Like, this is absolutely like a shot out of a comic. I love it so much, and like the lighting, the colors at play here, it's actually perfect. Like, it's nice that the character has like this sort of like beige tone to it, but when you like put everything onto it, when you put like the rest of it, it really like stands out and makes it like so much more interesting. and the expressions, it's so cute. Like, it's really good. I love expression stuff like this because it's just really fun. I love how like exaggerated all of these are. It's super nice. Yeah, Matt Andre, go give him a follow. He's wonderful. Um, but yeah, I love expressions so much, right? They're so fun. I should really do them more. I need to practice that. But like, it's so exaggerated. I love how you shape the eyes around. I love the sparkles. I love that. And you even play with like the bottom eyelid, which is like such a great practice. Ah, oh, and again with the texture and everything, the backgrounds, it's so like lively. It's so like there's so much character here. It's actually just super wonderful. Hi, 4 viewers. Welcome. We're complimenting art again before I actually work on art. But yeah, no, this is so nice, and this is for TCG too. Like heads up, keep an eye on this guy. And this is just a fun graphic. I love magic stuff like this as a crazy person who enjoys like sort of witchcraft stuff. Not that I'm like super like deep into it, but this is so cool, and they make sense too, which is the cool part. Like Cryo's having like that sort of like icicle shape there. This having like a lightning. This absolutely look like you could see the fire there. Terrace being on the ground. That's perfect. This is peak world building, and I could go forever about world building. I love this kind of stuff. And the way it's just like opposite to this is it's so clever, right? Hello, welcome, Shunky. Yeah, oh my god. Give Warped World a follow. Give Matt Andre a follow. He's a wonderful person, right? I'm fairly certain. But yeah, give them a follow, participate in the giveaway because this is exciting. But yeah. Next up, drink the jellies. Oh my god, it looks a lot like alchemic symbols for the elements, right? It's super cool. Alright, drink your vegetable. Holy balls, where do I even begin? First of all, the line art, because we know we have to point that every time. Every time I see, like, people who, like, draw instead of, like, painting, it's, like, such a breath of fresh air. It's, like, somebody still knows how to do this. This is great. The dynamic line depth is something that I am a huge fan of because, it takes a lot of, like, care and attention to detail to just, like, recognize, like, how thick should I make the line, where should I have it taper off, and a lot of it might come, like, naturally to some people, but I think a lot of the times it's like, well, like where exactly, because it's like, I kind of want it to be thin everywhere, I kind of want it to be thick everywhere. It's like, well, yeah, but there's, like, so much, like, nuance to, like, the thicks and the thins, and it's such a great thing. And the color choice is on point. Pink truly is such a great color here, combined with the sparkly purple eyes, and I did see this one animated. The physics on it looks so good. I love, like, the little, like, highlights here. I love that, like, the cell shading just, like, you still allow for, like, that, like, sense of depth, and it's wonderful with, like, the rim lights and stuff. It's so cute. It's so cute and well done. Like, I can't. Like, oh my god. Like, this is just perfect. Don't you guys just want to, like, take a spoon and just, like scoop? It's so cute. I love it. It's actually so, like... And again, the color choices are, like, on fire. Look at all the details. I saw them animated and they're adorable. Like, I love this stuff. And again, this is why I love when people, like, draw instead of, like, paint sometimes. Because, yeah, the painted art styles are, like, super cool and everything, right? But I think I hold so much more respect for people who sit there and line every single goddamned detail. Like the chains here, the candy. Like, there are so many artists that I think would just, like, either have, like, a brush or a stamp for that. But, like, the people who draw, the people who, like, take the time to go over all of these outlines over their sketch and everything. That is a special kind of patience, I think. And it's one that I wish I could see more and more of the Slowpoke. It's so good. It's actually so good. Can we talk about how sparkly these eyes are? Like, it's such a good effect. And, like, I love all of this. I love all of this. I want to put them all in my mouth. While I do lineless normally, I've noticed I've been doing more lined recently. Out of 8 pieces I've done, 5 of them are lined. Yeah, and look, there's nothing wrong. Like, I don't mean to bash on, like, anything that's, like, painted or lineless, but it's, like, I think there's a special kind of discipline to just sit here and just be like, one, and then another, and then another, and that's not even counting like all the amounts of times you have to like undo and everything. Cause yeah, there are technically faster ways to do this, but you would not get like this same like very like very poppy effect. I get it, I do enjoy both, and to me lined is so much quicker to do. Yeah, I love lined. I think people prefer painting just because like it's easier to just like get the really small details and not worry about them too much, but it's like I love lines because it's great. I love these so much. The Slowpoke tail is so good. Such a cute little call. Alright, Kamui or Kira, one of the two. You are starting strong with this one. First of all, I need to talk about like the dynamic shape going on here. There's so much movement, and as a person who really wanted to animate before, I get it. I love that like when I look at this, if I think about it, I can almost see like a moving GIF out of this. It's so cool, and it is absolutely wonderful. The effects all over the place, but in like a really cool way where you can really like feel the magic in all of it. I never get tired of seeing this. It's beautiful, right? I love all the stars. I love like the wispy patterns of like blue and orange. Their expressions are just wonderful too. Oh my god. And I love the line art here. It's a little bit hard to see. Let me see if I can zoom in. Yeah, there we go. I love that it's colored too, because it does like a really nice job of like, you're still doing it, but you're hiding it more, and it works really well with like your art, with your rendering, because the rendering does look more painted than most. The song I was listening to when I gave it a title is I Just Wanted to See You Glow. I see it. It's so perfect. The effects on the horns too. I always appreciate these because they're so like, how do I describe it? I don't know if they're crystals, but they give me like crystal vibes, and one of the things about natural quartz crystals, especially those really tall ones that you see, is that they have striations on them, and they're like these sort of like very like fine lines that run on the surface of it. That's what that reminds me of. Like all of this texture right here, the sort of like scratches. I don't know if you would call it scratches, but it's so cool, and I love that like I love the contrast in it all, and again the rendering just works so well with the way you do the outlines. It's absolutely like, it's gorgeous, and of course the character design and the color of it all just blending together. It's so good. It is, oh my god, it is great. Oh my god, Shunky, thank you for the sub! Oh my god, and thank you for using the Prime one too. Jeff Bezos, your money is very appreciated. And the sub too. Thank you so much. 6 out of 10. That's our sub goal apparently. I don't know what the sub goals do. I think we're supposed to get hype trains out of it, but if you guys, it's up to you guys if you want more emote slots or not. I'm just here for the funsies. Yeah, that's Kamui. That's Kira Elric, King of the Puffs. Oh my god, wonderful piece. And again, I will be spending time clipping all of these and quoting them, so you guys will have them saved. Because I get it, sometimes you can't make it to all the streams, and I don't want people to miss out on the funny things that I have to say about their art. Shunky! Oh my god, this is I love the Bulbasaur line so much. Look at the eyes, they're so glossy. And then like it's so beautifully contrasted with like the rest of the creature. You guys can see that like acrylic brush texture in there, right? Do you guys see that? You guys see that? Or just hit me with ads and I heard nothing. Yeah, don't worry. I will be clipping things for you guys, so you don't have to watch the whole VOD back. Well, it wouldn't be the whole VOD. It'd just be like this beginning part. But what time is it? Yeah, it's been 15 minutes already. I don't timestamp the VODs. That'd be insane. But anyways, back to this. The texture here. I am always looking out for that when I see people rendering. It's like, can I see the brush strokes? Can I see that they are using that they are doing something a little bit more interesting than just an airbrush? And it's this, and it's beautiful. I will always love this kind of stuff, and I love too that like you combine like the gradient shadows with like the solid shadows, and I love that your shadows are really dark too. Something that I will preach so many times over is make your shadows really dark, because that's going to make your highlights process so much faster, because highlights aren't that important to me, in my opinion. You're not always going to have them. It's going to depend on the lighting, on like what you need, but shadows, however, they're always going to be there, so you should like make them really dark. Some people I think are just so obsessed with like really like smooth lighting that they kind of just like choose a really similar color to the base color, just a smidge darker, and you can't see the shadows. It's like, what is the point of your rendering being there if you can't see it? And that is something that I think that's a very important thing for a lot of artists to realize. And Shunky, you make sure that I can see it. I can see it so clearly. It's like up here, I can see like a really nice gradient, and like even when it's like super smooth, it comes to this really nice these really nice darker colors. Like, you're not afraid to use the colors, which is nice. And I absolutely love it so much. You also got like the overall like shape and the expressions of the Pokemon just really nice. Like they're so I hear people say that the Bulbasaur evolutionary line is like frogs. They're always like these sort of like plant dinosaurs to me, and I love how like both reptilian and amphibian, they're so like I love it so much. And the fangs and everything, it's just, oh, it's so beautiful. And the background is such a pleasing like color to like complement them too. And the reflections are not easy. Like, holy balls, that's such a nice detail. Like, wonderful stuff as always. Keep up the incredible work, and I love this a lot. I'm pretty sure they are frogs if you watch Venusaur run. Oh! I see. Yeah, I haven't seen, like, Venusaur's, walking animation before. In the 3D games. I played, Heart Gold and Soul Silver, and they let you walk your Pokemon around. I think that's it for Blue Sky. We only got, like, a few there, which is alrighty. To Twitter! They're, like, it's so cute that they're, like, some, there were a lot more, like, not bot replies, but just, like, the really, like, let's be art moods, and I'm like, yeah, sure. Nothing wrong with that. SJM, once again, hitting us with the fun and wonderful, like, environment building and character designs and use of color. I love that you are taking that whole, like, painted background and using it with your characters. I know I mentioned that last time, and it's such a... I love painted backgrounds against, like, drawn characters, because it's very, like... It's a very interesting look. It's very, like, reminiscent of, like, Steven Universe. It's a really, like, neat effect, and oh my god, look at these hands. You're getting so good. I love it. Oh my god. And yeah, you are incredible at backgrounds. The amount of detail that you're able to add, and once again, this is all like inked in. This is like drawn by hand. There's like look at that. Look at the detail there. Look at the fencing on the thing and the gradients on the pole. Oh, it's so nice. Backgrounds have always been a challenge for me, so just seeing something like this, even like regardless of any like skill level or anything, it's such a cool thing. I love like the little border here too. It's very like it gives me like the vibe of like you peeled off the masking tape, but I know this isn't like painted. This is like all hand drawn, so it's it's a really cool effect. I love the planks, I love the stairs, I love the shadow here, I love the shadow here. Like, it's so... Like, there's so much, like, detail here. It's my YouTube working, there we go. It's really nice. And again, the character designs are so lovely. Just like, this is a nice dress. This is a really, really cool dress against, like, a character with, like, the white hair and the pale skin. Like, this is great character design right here. Like, it's a great combination of colors. Like, even though the palette is realistically only 3 colors, it just shows that, like, a really, like, strong understanding of, like, hey, this is, like, what goes together. This is what's gonna look really good. And again, I love how everything's, like, shaped. It's very clear, like, what you're going for, and I think clarity is a huge thing with art. I am absolutely loving it. Oh, this one's nice too. I love the gradient on the eyeshadow here. Like, it's a really, really cool effect. Yeah, I love the name Orchid for this character. That's so fitting. Again, an incredible use of, like, color theory here. It's like, all of these go so well together, which is probably the coolest thing in the whole world, I think. Like, I don't care how beginner level it is. I see the vision, and it's a great vision. Again, everything just goes together so well, and it's great. I love that about all your characters. The purple and yellow here, great contrast. Again, just, it's beautiful. It's great. It's beautiful. Alright, let's go on. This one's a new person. I don't actually see them all that often in my thing, so this was really cool. This was they don't do anthro often, which is incredible because this is some damn fine anthro art right here. First of all, I love the lines, and I love, like, the shading on the rendering on the hair, like, right away. I think there's, like, a lot of, like, really fun, like, details in here, just, like, it's cell shading is cool, right? Because, like, they're all solid colors, so you gotta choose where you're gonna put those solid colors. And because you take the time to, like, put some extra ink into the hair, you're able to, like, map it out, like, super well. Like, it's very well shaped. I love the fangs here. I don't know why in my head I thought this was a deer. I'm realizing now that it's a canine of some sort. Don't ignore me. I'm, like, stupid sometimes, but yeah, the rendering is really cool. I love, like, how you pick and choose, like, where those darker shapes go, and then you also have, like, the highlights and, like, that really, like, nice sort of, like, that little funky shape that you use. It shows a really, really nice understanding of, like, how light hits hair. I love the fangs. I love the fangs so much. I love that you add this one, too. Like, sometimes it's hard to add the fangs over here on, like, any character. Yeah, the eye is really good. But sometimes it's a little bit strange to, like, add the fang here because, like, of depth and, like, maybe, tangents in your, line art. But it's done really well here. I love this little bit of, like, depth here, the way the line, like, swoops up and just kind of ends while you have the tooth coming down and, like, into the thing. That's super nice. The eye, as Kamui said, very, very nice. It's sparkly. It's got just the right amount of shading. And again, about shading again, I really like that I can see the shadows. I really like that. So do you guys see what I mean? Like, when you have the really dark shadows, your highlights had to do significantly less work. It's great. Oh my god, it's so the cool thing too, it's like it's such a warm piece that like this blue eye just really draws you in, and it's right there, like almost at the center too. It is great. I love the the it's not a stein, the tankard. That's what it is. I love this here. I'm a huge D&D nerd, so this just like tickles my brain. Like, oh, this is you're meeting this guy in the tavern. He's like he's on his like third he's on his third tankard of beer. It's such a really nice atmosphere. The background, I know you blurred it, but like I see it. It's cozy. Maybe not so much a tavern more than it is a bar, but it's super nice. It's really, really cool. This is an excellent commission now that I'm reading it here. Good stuff, good stuff. Alright. Next up. Here is another one. This art style is adorable. Again, it's like I don't care if you're like a beginner or not. The biggest thing that matters to me is like how clear are you able to communicate the ideas that you have in your head, and this is very well communicated to me. I love the angel wings with the devil horns. It's a very, very interesting concept, I think. I think there's a ton of like things to ask about this character. Like, was he an angel before? Maybe he started out as a demon, and maybe he maybe he like got his wings. I think it's very interesting. I unfortunately don't know. Okay, no, this is your username. This is an OC. Got it. Just checking to make sure this wasn't a character from a franchise or anything. But yeah, I love the symbols here. I don't know if you actually like pull them off of like actual runes or anything, but it's such a neat detail. I think the sword is really cool. Like, it is a big sword, and I can tell that this guy is supposed to be like very, very tough, very strong. So the idea of like this winged demon flailing a swinging greatsword at you is really cool. The little wings on the shoes too just also give like this guy is fast, this guy is strong, and I can see it. The horn piercing, that is a nice detail actually. I love that. I'm a sucker for demon characters. I think demon characters are some of the best kinds of characters out there, because one, you can play with like the aesthetics of it like so much, and it's super fun. Horn accessories have always been something that I think are like super like fun to mess around with. So seeing a horn piercing here, that is fun. That is fun, and I love that a lot. I love like all the eyes here too. It's very like body horror-esque, and like actually that plays into the whole angel wings here, because like the whole like biblically accurate angle, or biblically accurate angel thing. That is really fun now. Like that is an interesting thing to play with. Like there's so much going on in this character, but it's not too much, you know? Like it is fun. It is interesting. Like I'm like there's a story here. There's so very clearly a story here, and I think that is one of the coolest things, when you can tell a story with your art, even though it's just like the one piece that you have. Oh, this is a cute. I love the contrast. There's like this big angry guy, and then there's Jade. Oh my god. I love the design so much. I love that she has this like little plant tattoo on her stomach. Tattoos, I think, are always going to be like a really, really fun character design choice, because it's like you don't have to draw the tattoo, but you did. So there's a story there, I think. And it looks like this is the tattoo shape. So it definitely feels like there's a story there, because some of those runes look the same as the other guy, which is interesting. It's very intriguing. I love the color combination here too. The very like muted, like sort of like everything here, but with the very vibrant like dark green. It's a really, really nice sort of like combo that's like very like very, very easy to look at. It's wonderful. I love the nubby hands too. Like again, it's such a cute art style. It's very like reminiscent of like Animal Crossing, and I love it. Oh my god. I love that like you raise the foot a little bit and show a little bend in the knee. That's like a really, really good practice to do. I love that you're able to put like a bit of detail on the shoes. It's really cute. It's really cute. Oh, this is cool. This is really cool. Hello, welcome everyone. We're at 5 viewers. Look at that buggy boy. Oh my god. This is like a weird funky eyeball spider, but with an extra eyeball coming out. That is fun. That is really, really fun. I love, like, this is... Like, I want you guys to, like, imagine, like, you're in a video game and you just see these things, like, crawling around you. The scopophobia on that would be, like, so, like, strong. Like, you would really feel like you're being watched here, and I think that's so good. I love all the details too. The details to make the legs like plated into the thing. Like they don't just like attach. Like they actually have like a spot for them. I love. It looks like an iris. It's so cool, and you got the veins in there, which makes me ask now. And it's good. It's good to like if you're getting people to like ask these kinds of questions about your art. It's like, do you like, is this like a biomechanical creature? Is this like, was this actually somebody's eye before? Or is it just built like this? Is there just like a membrane around it? And I think when you get people asking questions like that about your art, especially when you're trying to create like a story or anything, it is really good, because it's like now you're getting people interested. Now it's like, well, what kind of like technology is at play here? I think that's a really, really strong skill to build up, and it's to me this is like biomechanical, which is really cool. I love the body horror aspect of like this is potentially like somebody's eyeball, and I don't know how big this is too. You can get really, really crazy with this idea. You could say that this is like an eyeball the size of a golf ball. Or it could be like an actual like really, really like small eye. Then like if it's really small too, you can have like a ton of these things crawling around. I think that's super fun. Oh, this is nice. Like I said, I am weak for demon characters. Once again, we have the runes playing out. I love the glow on the eyes. Maybe it's because I watched Dragon Ball when I was little, but I love when like eyes just kind of like go white like this. Like it's really like this guy's about to pop off with something crazy. This is a great hand too. I love the effects here. It's very like I said, it doesn't matter how beginner an art style is, it's how well did you communicate the idea in your head, and it's very well communicated here. You can tell something is about to go down. This guy's charging up his attack. This hand, again, is great. I love that they end in points, too, to show that his, like, nails or claws are very sharp. It's a really good detail to have. I love the floating crown. I love the wings here. They're not angel wings this time, which is interesting. So it does leave me curious, like, how does it relate to the first guy we saw, you know? Again, it's just really cool to see this kind of stuff. The storytelling through your art is, again, I think a very, very important skill, and this is it. Like, you could honestly make a comic. You could, like, you really could, I think. Alrighty, let's move on to the next one. Alright, let's see what we got here. Always really fun to see the traditional stuff. So much art is digital now that it's, I feel like traditional doesn't get done too much anymore. So I am actually learning analog inking. I actually was doing some of it last night. So I have my my fountain pen here in my ink. So I can like kind of like recognize already like what's going on here. The cross hatching is super nice. And I think the way that you like color everything into is very, very like, again, it translates well. It's like you can tell what this is supposed to be. Even if you had never heard of Pokemon in your entire life, you know what's going on here for the most part. There is an object, there is a creature on the object, and the object is colored a certain way. You can tell which parts are, you can tell which parts are supposed to be shadows and which parts are supposed to be colored in. Which is really good, because if you are just using ink, like no color, no paint, no colored pencils, no nothing, you just have your ink, that is incredible. because you're gonna have to be able to differentiate like shape and color from like your shadows, which is really tough when, again, you realistically only have one thing. I love that, so, to circle back to this, I love that, like, you can easily tell which parts are supposed to be in shadow and which parts are colored in. It's very, like, your shapes are very clear like that, and I love it. I love the cross-hatching, too. It really, like, points out, like, where the shadows are, like really, really dark. Like, here on the top of the Pokeball especially, you can tell there's supposed to be, like, a shadow here that, like, comes all the way down back here. And then there's an additional shadow for where Pikachu is standing. And I think that's great. I love that you also include a little bit of the surface down here. I feel like a lot of artists might just not draw that in. And I always appreciate that when you give it like that sort of extra sense of like depth and everything. I love the cheek. I love how you did the cheeks actually. Like it's a very interesting approach that I think I definitely wouldn't have done if I tried to do something like this. I definitely would have drawn it in, but you cross-hatched it in, which is such a striking choice. Like I am drawn to it when I'm looking at Pikachu. Like those, like that's a really unique approach in my opinion. All right, what else? Ah, this is cool. Oh my god, do you guys see what I mean with like ink being like a really, really funky like medium to work with? Cause it's more than just like a monochrome or anything. It's like you have one thing and you're just gonna have to figure out how to use that one thing to convey multiple things. It's a really, really cool thing. I love working in ink. I do too. I am actually enjoying it a lot. I'll have like a little post about it going up tomorrow, but this is cool. There's like, everything is so well defined, and the cool thing about it is that this was done with one pen. like, it takes so much to be able to like figure out like, okay, well I want to lay the color heavy here, but I'm gonna go a lot lighter over here to create these shapes. And it just keeps going and going. You get like a really cool effect with like almost like a gradient. It's like this thing is glowing and this other thing that's like looking at it is like being engulfed in like flames almost, just because of like I don't know, its presence or something. And again, the shading, the cross-hatching, it's really good. Like to be able to sell the look of like multiple textures and shapes and surfaces with like one tool is incredible. And most of the time I see it with like a fountain pen or a brush pen or anything. This looks like a ballpoint pen to me, which adds to like the insanity even more, because it's like, dude, how did you do this? Like actually, how? It's so, there's so much detail in here conveyed with just one ballpoint pen by the looks of it. And it's like, you mad lad, this is insanity. This is great. I love it so much. Alright. And then we got a bot message. You guys want to do a little blocking and reporting on stream? Report. Spam. Block. Get out of here, Donald. Alright. Now, you are a comic book author, so you already know. You already know what's up. The environment, the lines, the color, the overall composition, this is... oh my god. Like, when I say art is about translation, this is entirely what I mean. Like, you can feel the vibe here. You know exactly what's going on here. And it's not just because it's well done. It's because it's, like, you have everything. You have, like the slumped over, like, figure. You have the arm hanging over the bed with the phone just barely in its grasp. Oh my god. The amount of detail here is insane. It's more than just, like, the skill. It's like, how did you place everything? What's your environment look like? And here you can see, like, the vision, like, so clearly. This looks like a scene out of a comic. This is great. Again, there's just so many wonderful, like, little details here. I love that some of the buildings, like, have their lights on and off. I love that, there's a backpack overflowing with, like, notebooks and paper, because that is exactly what my backpack looked like, approximately 3 weeks before the semester ends. Ah, there's so many, like, cute little things in here. And it's such a nice art style, too. You are so good at, like, the different shots, the perspective, the scenery. It's wonderful. This is a tough angle to draw a bird in, by the way. Like, there are certain ways that people draw birds, but it takes, like, a special kind of person to decide, I'm gonna draw the bird like that. And look at that. Look at the way, like, the bird's shadows just get cast onto, like, everything here. And this isn't even, like, a flat surface to be casting a shadow onto. This is a very, very abnormal shape to be casting a shadow onto. And you still get it, like, down to a point where it's, like, super believable. Like, yeah, that's exactly what's going on here. Oh my god, and the textured line art too. It's so good. I love that it's dynamic too. Dynamic line art always makes me like so unbelievably happy. This guy's in prison, but he's got like food here. I love all the details. Everything's strewn about the floor, the escape plan, the sad toilet paper. You can see like exactly like what's supposed to be going on here, and I think that's cool. There's a lot of sleeping here. I relate to these pieces very much. Oh my god, it's such a neat art style. I love all the details here with like the ink too. Just like to be able to like convey like all the clothing wrinkles and everything with your lines. It's such a neat thing. And the cool thing about this art style too is that like not everything is like super precise. Like the length and like the thickness of the wire is not consistent, but it gives it like a very like unique and stylized look to the overall thing. It matches so well with everything else. It's literally like the coolest thing. The half-eaten snacks. My room looks exactly like this, guys. It's a really, really cool style. It's like, oh my god, look at that. Look at that, that's beautiful. Look at all the lines in the water and stuff. Like, that is, I love ink because it's like, yeah, you could get, like, brushes for this, but this is just, like, raw. It's gonna be cel-shaded, it's gonna be inked, and I'm gonna like find a nice balance between like both the rendering and the ink to give it like its own like unique feel to it. And it's really, really nice. I love it so much. I love like the overall perspective here. It's all beautifully illustrated. It's all beautifully translated. It's wonderful. Great art. I think this is the last one. Alright, here we are. Cosmic Nemesis. So it's a shark adopt. It's very cute, first of all. I love the bright colors. I don't think there's any point in like not having colors or in having colors if you're not going to use them, so I love it a lot. I love the contrast too. The cool thing about this is it's the way it's like everything that's bright is out front and everything that's supposed to be like blacker and shadows in the back, so it really makes the character stand out. I wonder if anyone bought this already. Anyways, but yeah, another thing that I appreciate too is the asymmetry up here in the shark hood. I love the ring around the tail, because I usually make like a lot of like tieflings for D&D. Along with horn accessories, I really like tail accessories, so I think that's a really cool thing. More asymmetry here in the arm, here in the thing, here on the belt. I think asymmetry is cool because it keeps the character looking like very interesting. Like I think a lot of people, it's like symmetry is just like the easy thing to do, and that doesn't mean that it looks bad, because it still looks really nice. But I like when there's intention in art. Like there is a reason to have an armband here but not over here. There is a reason to have a sock here but not over here, and I think that keeps art like super just like. Again, I love intention. I love when like you can showcase like, hey, this is like here's exactly like what's going on, and you can communicate that idea. And again, the rendering is just really pretty. I love that it really looks like it's glowing, even though like maybe it isn't quite like it's super cute. It's very, very adorable. Very, very fun. And I think that's all the compliments on Twitter and Blue Sky, because, yep, this is fun. This is fun. I love seeing it all. I love being able to just look at everything, just like, this is all incredible stuff. I closed Blue Sky already, but yeah. Thank you everyone for sharing your art with me. It is one of the coolest things, I think. One of the coolest things to see, and I wish all of you like the best in your art journey. So without further ado, let me put on my drawing tablet. There we go. Look where we are. Oh boy. So sort of transition back into like my own content. I've been playing Stardew Valley. There's probably not going to be another Stardew stream this week. To my knowledge, Johnny had an appointment today. I have no idea if he woke up for that. And he will be closing Thursday. Oh way. Which is stream day. So, yeah, we won't be streaming Stardew this week, maybe next week, hopefully. Regardless, though, this is what I've been working on because Stardew is one of my current hyperfixations, and the one hyperfixation I constantly have is D&D, so my silly little brain is just like, okay, well, how about we combine the two? And I'm like, yeah! And it's like, you can even make a funny Soldier Poet King TikTok out of it. And I'm like, yeah! So that's where we're at. You know, the Tavern Song of TikTok, there will come a soldier who carries a mighty sword, stuff like that. Let me see, how do I want to do this? Because I want to do more than just grind the border here. Yeah, we'll do the border last. I want to get to, like, inking the characters. When I was, like, going insane a few nights ago, like, I'm so tired of sketching, I must ink. I wanted to ink this other thing that I had, but I was like, I kind of want to, like, start sketching this other thing that I have in mind. But yeah, to explain, Elliot is the poet, obviously. I'm starting there because that's the most obvious one, I think. This is Abigail from Stardew, and this is Haley from Stardew. I think it works very well in the context of things, and their like respective characters. Let me see. Oh, I haven't inked on here in like forever, or it feels like forever. I feel like I just haven't been like doing like enough drawing and like too much sketching. That's where I'm at the moment. So it feels good to be doing this again. I think a few times I will be trying to like record some of this like for TikTok, but we'll just have to see. But yeah, I like so this isn't the first time I've done like a D&D AU out of a hyperfixation. I first did that with Apex Legends, and the way that I went about that one was for their class and race. I wanted it to be like more reflective of like their story and like different interpretations of said story and character arcs. So for this one, I think Abigail as a tiefling for one might just be a little bit of like self-projecting, because again, when I read her as a character, she feels a lot like a younger version of myself, so I'm like, oh, might as well make her a tiefling. But I think it just fits with her personality overall. She's very like alt to me, but not like goth necessarily, or emo, or punk really. She's just like some flavor of like alt. I just don't know what it would be. So I think just because of that, you have to go with one of the edgier races. And because Caroline makes a mention that she was also kind of like rebellious as as a child like Abigail was, or Abigail is. I think it'd be interesting if she got like her tiefling lineage from Caroline, actually, just as like a little thing. And in D&D lore, what if you have even one tiefling parent? Like, you don't need two tieflings to make another tieflings. It's just if there is a tiefling, the tiefling, the children will always be tiefling, which I think is something which is interesting in Forgotten Realms. So another way that makes this interesting is there's that whole theory that Abigail is actually the wizard's daughter. I personally don't know how much I believe that, because I think I think there's enough to like swing like both ways. Like, no, the wizard has to be talking about someone else, or like, no, the wizard is definitely talking about Abigail. I think there's enough evidence to sort of say like both, which means there's not like enough like conclusive evidence like either way, I guess. But by making Caroline a tiefling, it would make Abigail a tiefling, so even if she was the wizard's daughter, there's no way Pierre would know, because she would just literally be a tiefling, which I think is just a fun little like way to convey that. Because what would I make Pierre? Pierre's like not super significant to me in any way. I don't see him leaning any like strongly towards like any fantastical races from D&D. So I think just a human is good enough in my book for me. So that was my choice with the tiefling thing. As for class, I think she would be a fighter. A paladin would have the oaths with the paladin, which I don't think the Abigail's very like free-spirited and like she doesn't really want to like she seems to just like enjoy the idea of combat, and that's not necessarily like it's good for a paladin character to have, but it's not like the core of being a paladin. Fighters I think the fighter class just makes the most sense for her, especially since she has a sword. So it's like she can't be I would say rogue, but it does seem like she's less on like the sneak attack thing. She kind of just feels like someone who would like rather charge into battle and stuff like that. What other martial classes are there that I can rule out? Monks don't typically use weapons, so definitely not monk. Rangers, you usually want to run that with like some sort of ranged weapon, and again, Abigail uses a sword. The only other thing would maybe be like Hexblade Warlock, but the thing with that is, of course, there's usually like some sort of like pact made for that, and you don't need like a patron for the pact, which is interesting. Nowhere in the rulebook does it state that. I think people just automatically assume that they need to. But like a Warlock pact just doesn't feel like the same, like right for Abigail, so I think just Tiefling fighter. I think I made her a Zariel Tiefling in Baldur's Gate 3 actually, just for like that little bit of strength. I think Tiefling fighter just fits the best for her in my head. Again, it's just a lot of fun to play around with. Play around with these things. Haley. Haley was a bit difficult, because it's like on one hand I see her as a high elf, on the other hand I can also just see her as just a regular human. But I think realistically, if I wanted to make her into a thing, the tough thing is that she's already, Haley doesn't feel like the type to like want to go out adventuring, which is the hard part. I want to say that I made her into a cleric on Baldur's Gate 3, but I can't remember. But I do remember choosing like a sun elf for her, and then just like going through like the whole character design stuff. But I can't actually remember what class. I really want to say cleric, but I don't think it was cleric, honestly. But if I had to choose anything else, though, I like Ranger. She just seems to be like really fond of the animals in like that one heart event. But does that mean she would like use a bow? Does that mean she would use an animal companion at her side? I don't know for sure. I do like Cleric just for like that little charity event that she has for her 14 heart scene. But like I'm still not entirely sold on it. What other classes are there? Wizard might be interesting. Wizard or sorcerer, actually maybe I did make her a sorcerer now that I think about it. Because I think it's implied that their parents are like a little rich, and sorcerers do kind of just inherit their magic from like whatever magic source is in their bloodline, which I think is neat. I think that's like a fun thing to play with, actually. Just sorcerer Haley, but of course like not because it's like sorcerer charisma class and it's like they're naturally gifted. I think like a lot of like players like try to make it like, oh well, it's like kind of like don't have to try with magic, but they kind of do. So I think that was a fun one. I think Emily would then be like a moon elf then, but also like a sorcerer, just because of like, you know, that inheritance that you get from like sorcerers, or from your sorceress origin. I'm spitting like so many like random D&D things. This is my stupid hyperfixation. This is constantly what I'm talking about. But yeah, Sorcerer Haley, I can get by that. Elliot was a wood elf bard. That was kind of a no-brainer to me. I specifically choose wood elf over high elf for a few reasons. Elliot is one, never read to me as like pretentious when I interact with him. And it's very clear that he has like a very like certain kind of like fondness for nature. So maybe not necessarily wood elf from like a forest or anything. I just can't remember if there are like beach elves or something. I know there's like water elves, but like that's besides the point. Also just his overall color palette in game feels very reminiscent of like what I would do for a wood elf. So it was like, oh, it's like right there. I'm gonna do it. What's more interesting to me though is the class that I would choose for him. I actually would go with what's it called? With the College of Eloquence bard, because at 3rd level, you get the Silver Tongues feat, and if Elliot isn't Silver Tongued, then I'm not an artist, and it's plain and simple as that. I don't even remember what Silver Tongues does as like a skill. I'm like mildly sure it's like you automatically have like a 19 when you roll like charisma or something. Or persuasion, it was one of those. Actually, you know what? I'll give it a quick look up. College of Eloquence. Yeah, but College of Eloquence bards are, all it is that they're very like, they're just really good speakers, and I think it's fairly obvious that Elliot's a pretty good speaker. Yeah, Silver Tongue. You're a master at saying the right thing at the right time. When you make a charisma or a persuasion check or a deception check, you can treat a d20 roll of 9 or lower as a 10. Okay, so I'm just mixing it up with that one meme video. But yeah, all it is just like a nice bonus. I think a lot of difficulty classes when you're like early game is going to be around 10 to 13. So just anything lower than a 9 is already a 10. That's like really, that's really strong early game. And yeah. Let me see. Real quick, I'm gonna see if I can record for TikTok because I said I would. Or I told myself I would, I should say. But yeah. You guys, the people who do like art TikToks are kind of like insane to me because it's like I don't understand Actually, no, that was way too quick for a thing. I'll record something else. I don't. It's so hard to like hold your phone over like the thing and then like still see what you're doing. So that's kind of why I don't like making them too much. But sometimes I get like an idea and I'm just like, I need to do this. Otherwise, I will be very upset with myself. But yeah. Those are the D&D classes. Who else did we do last night? Or that one night? We made Sebastian into a drow, and, he turned him into a wizard. I was a little surprised that he wasn't, like, rogue or anything, but, like, based off- Johnny was explaining to me based off, like, one of his cutscenes, he canonically chooses to be a wizard character. I'm like, okay, makes enough sense to me! But yeah, I would have chosen, like, rogue, otherwise. If there was a rogue character in the game, let me think. If there was going to be a character who would be a rogue, I think it would be Krobus. A lot of the characters just don't feel like they fit that roguish archetype, because a lot of it is, you have to be sneaky. The sort of D&D stereotype is that, like, you do enjoy doing crime. They are kind of like edgelords, and, like, while Krobus isn't an edgelord, I think just him just kind of, like, taking stuff from the surface world to, like, sell is roguish enough for me in my head. So I think that's my explanation there. Let's see. We did Sam. I made Sam a bard, too, but, like, his would be something else. A different subclass entirely. I don't know the bard subclasses too well. I'm gonna move my chair, actually. I feel like I'm very, very far from, like... Hang on. There we go. But yeah. He was a bard, too. I just don't remember which one it would be. I think College of Glamour, actually, would be a good one for Sam. I also made him into a sun elf, but... honestly, I don't feel too strongly towards that. Leah would be a wood elf druid. She loves nature. She does like her whole like foraging thing, I think. She does the whole woodworking. Like while she loves animals, I don't know if she would like have the animal companion with her, or do like the whole like hunting thing that rangers do. So I think a druid is like very like in line for Leah. Wood elf druid, kind of the same as Elliot. Just like it fits. Penny, I said, was just a human cleric. Just cause I think she would want to be the type of person who like supports her team, and not like do a lot of the fighting. Like clerics, yeah, they have like kind of busted spells for combat, but they do still do like a great job at support anyways, because that is kind of like their thing. I think the one reason why they have like really like strong like offensive spells is because like, well, probably should give the cleric a way to properly defend themselves, and it's like, yeah, that's fair. What else? Who else is there in the game? Emily would be a sorcerer too, but I don't know if she'd actually like follow through with it. I think she would just I think the way I would like, if I wanted to play Emily, like, yeah, she has like that sorceress origin, but she doesn't really like tap into that part. I think she would be a maybe like another druid or ranger, just something like more into like the whole like witchcraft thing. Oh, this is actually like a good spot to like record. Because she's into the crystal healing, she like loves nature, she loves dancing, she's very eccentric like that, and I think that's perfect for like the druids. For druids. Like Circle of Dreams, maybe. Man, recording a TikTok is... Let me stop that. Let me stop that and delete the other video. I wish I had like a stand to like put my phone up and then like and then I can just do that, but I don't. And my case doesn't make it easy too, because it's a wallet case. No, that was terrible. I wasn't even recording, Lamau. That was off camera. Oh my god. If you guys ever wondered how making art TikToks go, this is how it goes. You sit there and you try to like angle your phone properly so you can see what you're doing, and you still can't see what you're doing. It just doesn't work out. Oops. That's terrible. You know what? You know what I think I need to do actually? I need to get rid of that. I actually need to start from here. Almost where I need it to be. Like, yeah, I liked how that other tip ended, but it's making like drawing like the rest of it like kind of tough, so I need like a nice long sort of pen stroke for this. So, oops. I start from here. Yeah, I like that. I think that's good enough for a thing. But it's still... It would just be nice if I could just, like, see what I'm doing and not have to, like, worry that the camera can see what I'm doing. I don't understand how people, like, do this. I'll try one more time. I know I got a TikTok because Johnny, like, wanted to send me videos there, too. He said I should make an art TikTok, so I did. That's really all I use it for. I'm a little worried about, like, what it's recommending me sometimes, but half the time I'm like, I don't use it anyways, I'm not gonna pay attention to, like, my For You page. If I wanted to watch, like, short-form content, most of the time I'm, like, watching YouTube Shorts or something. I hope this is actually, like, recording. Yeah. I like YouTube Shorts a lot, because, if I want short-form videos, it's, like, right there, and then if I want long-form videos, it's right there. That's kind of where I'm at with it. I want to post my TikToks to YouTube Shorts, but I'm just, like, a little worried about copyright, because, I know they have, like, a different sound library, and even, like, the sound library on TikTok gets copyright struck sometimes, so I'm just like, bro. I need, like, my other hand on the... Oh my god, okay, hang on. This video is, like, a minute long. I'm sorry, guys. I hate to be spending so much time on, like, the same spot of hair again, but it's just, like, I cannot do this. I need, like, a second hand to, like, stay... to hold the tablet down. Oh my god. Don't make an art TikTok, guys. It's not worth it. And speaking of TikTok, the TikTok ban is absolutely ridiculous. Everything that's going on in the States right now is just like one massive shit show, and I'm just here like, let me just get some popcorn with this, because it's just not worth, it's not worth, like, this stupidity. It's like, if I wanted to deal with stupid people on a daily basis, I would just work at my job full-time. Not to get into politics. There we go. That's a shape I can get behind. I hope the video recorded that. Be like the last. Okay, it did. That's all I care about. Okay, we can finally move on from this stupid hair end. Not to like get political, because I don't want to get political, but I think this is just something that needs to be said. As it stands right now in the States, I don't like to say that, oh, it's like side A versus side B, because that's really just not how politics should be, but as it stands right now, it is most definitely a side A versus side B situation. And I don't even mean like between like conservative and liberal. I mean, like, okay, can you I mean it in, like, a, can you recognize, like, the whole, like, authoritarian, like, thing that's happening here? Or are you just going to, like, let it happen and ignore it and turn a blind eye blissfully? Because, I know I'm gonna be on the right side of history by the time everything is done and blown over. The question is, do you recognize, like, what side that is? So I'm just like, whatever. That's where I'm at right now. Clive was just like, Cairo, like, I don't want to, like, laugh at these people because I don't want to create more division. Like, the only division we have right now, Clive, is, do people recognize, like, the whole, like, authoritarian regime that's happening? Or are they on my side where it's like, they recognize what's happening, and they would like to stop it, or they would like it to be stopped? Like, that is... Like, that is all it is right now in the States. And I'm just like, bro. Like, it is exhausting, seeing it happen, because it's like, why is this my life right now? I know Clive and Johnny were, like, a little worried about the whole birthright thing. The interesting thing about that is I don't think they can, like, it's like, oh, we're gonna end birthright citizenship, and I think a lot of people are worried, like, oh, well, I've been here, like, all my life already, like, are they really gonna, like, kick me out? Like, it's a little bit of a tall order, if you ask me, because one, that is a lot of money, to get people to, like, kick people out of their homes like that, and two, honestly, good luck, because, you know, there were people in the California fires who were being told to evacuate, and they would not evacuate, so, like, if a fire isn't gonna get someone to leave, I seriously doubt anything else will. Like, on one hand, I'm worried, on the other hand, it's like, let me be thankful, at least, that I live in California, where, hopefully all of this will, like, affect me a little bit less, but my heart still does break for people in more, like, red states and everything. But yeah, that's been me, and it kind of sucks. I've been, like, mildly annoyed that my recommended feed is just full of, like, all kinds of, like, political, like, jargon now, and I'm just like, it's a lot. I don't need it at the moment, but it is a lot. But still, me keep going, and, at the end of the day, it is our right to overthrow the government if we do feel that government is being stupid. And being stupid, it does that every single day, but this year I have a great feeling that there's gonna be, like, just some really, really, like, good exceptions to the stupidity, to the point where it's like, okay, well, if you want to have a whole civil war in the States, by all means, go and try it. Anyways, I think Abigail is looking good so far. Forgot to ink her mouth, Lamau. I love tiefling fangs, they're so cute. Yeah. It's 12:44. How's everyone else doing? I'm very curious to know. I actually ended up asking for, like, less hours at Carl's, because it was like... It's like I get up early, because I have to take my dogs out so I can make it to my shift at 10. And then I get off at, like, 6 or 6:30, and the sky is, like, dark already. It was just, like, getting to me, and I'm like, I can't do this, guys. I also ended up turning down the promotion because, good lord, the management at the store is just in shambles right now. A lot of people are actually quitting, and I'm just like, I think me and Johnny are just kind of like, should we quit too? And it's like, it's tempting, but it's like, God, it's $20 an hour weekly pay, and I'm just like, I'm not, like, I don't really want to be paid only $16 for customer service work, but it's like, I really do not like Carl's at the moment. I'll make that wider. To me, tiefling fangs are like short, but they're really wide. I don't know why. That just makes sense in my head. I know they're carnivores, like in canon, like I think, which I think is I think is a neat like distinction between like a lot of the other races in Faerun. There we go. Yes, no. See, this is why I need to like make sure my sketches like are the way that I need them to be when I ink, because like I know some people like they advocate for more sketchy or messy sketches, but that's because they do things differently, and I'm just here like I need mine clean because I basically just trace my sketch to get these lines down. I'm in a bit of pain, but I'm doing better than yesterday. I had to pull off an all-nighter to fix my sleep pattern. Looking forward to tomorrow and Friday since my dad gets paid from his books at his workplace on those 2 days. Oh, that's good. And ugh, the all-nighter is most definitely not fun. Yeah, I definitely don't miss those. Was it for school or anything? Because, I know some schools start all the way in like February, but I'm not sure about over there. Because if I had to guess, it would be for school. Let's see. It feels really nice to do like these long, like, I like arm motions instead of like using my wrist. Because I feel like I've been doing a lot of sketching, especially with the comic. I still need to start inking that, but I need to figure out how I'm going to do that if my cloud storage on Medibang is full. I could just move all of those to like my computer. I have like a lot of space on here and it wouldn't be that much of a problem. That's kind of a lot of work. Now, I've been out of school for years. I'm just a night owl who spends the night drawing my stuff mood. Yeah, that was me. When I was sketching this the other night or so, I was up till like past 2 in the morning or something like that, and I was just like, why am I doing this? Because I wanted to finish the actual sketch. I didn't want to like wait for like tomorrow and everything. I wanted to have like, okay, like this is the sketch. This is what oh, that's the horn. I see. Shoot. Okay, I see it now. I see it now. Do you guys see where I got confused here? It's like this has to follow through somehow, but is it following through over here or is it following through over here? Oh my god. It would help if I just sketched things differently, but I refuse to sketch things differently. I like the way that I do it. Clothes and other like features just in dark, everything else in light. Okay, so now that I know that part's the head, I know this part's the horns. But yeah, I picked up the that's a mood. Yeah. Let's see. What else has been happening? I picked up guitar again. I've been slacking on it. And I'm sorry because, well, I mostly started Johnny because he's supposed to be, like, kind of teaching me. I showed it off a little bit last Thursday, I think? Just before, like, Johnny got onto the call and just before, like, people were in chat. So that was fun. I am trying to learn how to play I Want to Live from Baldur's Gate. It is going questionably well. I would be showing it right now, but the guitar's downstairs because Johnny wanted to lower the action for me. Because what's happening currently is the action is just really high. So what it is that even though I'm like playing like on the tips of my fingers right now, the strings are still rubbing against my pads. So it ends up muting the string, which is not good because I'm trying to play said string that is being muted. And I've been like super frustrated with it because it's like I feel like it would just be going a lot better if I didn't have to like stop and be like and like readjust and like really be like on the tips of my fingers, because it's like oh my god, hang on, it's like comfy if I press on the string like right about here, but any more than that, like right here, that's like basically under my fingernail already, and that's just, I don't think I need to be playing guitar like that. But yeah, so I'm hoping Johnny will be able to do that. And I know later today we're going to be celebrating a coworker's birthday, because he's just been doing it throughout the week, and Johnny offered to celebrate with him. So, there was that. I'll be doing that today after stream. Then we do this. See what even happened last stream. Last stream was Stardew Valley, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I think it was. Stardew was fun. To recap on that, I was grinding out to see. I was trying to like grind friendship with Elliot to see if I can get him to dance at the flower dance year 1, because I thought that's like, because a lot of his like really good gifts to give him are like really expensive. I was just like, I bet I could do it. I bet I could do it, because we were getting gold star mayonnaise, and mayonnaise is an artisan good, and across all things, I think all artisan goods are like universal likes or something like that. So I got huge bonuses, and for a moment I thought like we thought that I wasn't gonna get it, because it was like the day before the dance, and I was still only at 3 hearts, and it's like, and we were just there like, oh man, that's a disappointment. And Johnny was mostly about right. Like, the next gift was probably gonna put me past that 4 heart requirement. And I was like, yeah, you're probably right. So here comes the day of the flower dance. I have time before this, so I go to check on the crab pots, because that's what I always do. I'd already given him 2 gifts this week, so even if there was a lobster in there, wouldn't have mattered. And, you know, I put my crab pots on the beach. So I see him, and I'm like, I go talk to him. And talking to him that day before the flower dance was just enough to put me past to put me on the 4 heart threshold. And I was like, let's go. I was like ecstatic, because like that was kind of clutch. I know speedrunners can probably like do it faster, but it was just like really funny that was able to like happen. Like, I'm like proud of myself for that. And then we actually ended up getting him all the way to 6 hearts like really fast. I don't know how that happened. Let's see. Erase all of that. If we put that up to full. Right, that's the head. Which means the horn comes out over here. Horn's gonna come out all the way like this. Actually, it's way better to just do all of that. I like her with the ram horns. I think Abigail, I think the ram horns really fit for her. Just something like very like, I'm gonna charge into battle kind of thing. I wish I had more space to draw them here, but I didn't want to make the canvas too big. Otherwise my computer yells at me. My computers already yell at me for like how big the thing is. The over the garden wall art that I posted for the Saturday art share, was it? I think it was the Saturday art share. It was really funny when I was that background. Oh my god, how many layers was it? It was a lot. It was a lot of layers. I just know that the count was off because of how because of how the layers like translate over when you transfer from Procreate to Medibang. Because I started that on Procreate. I did the sketch in Procreate, and then I did everything else on Medibang when I transferred it over. And let's see. Yeah, that's good. It's good to merge now. Because that's what happened. And so I know the count was like off by like 3 layers.
but it was like I had the background color, then there was a gradient, then there were background trees, then there were background leaves, and then there were actual leaves, and it just kept going and going, and I was just like, my computer was so mad at me that morning. I remember when I was working on it too. The game store that I work at had commissioned me for like a Lorcana tournament poster, but they needed it like really fast, so I was like, okay, let me do the Lorcana thing first, because that actually kind of has like a little bit of a tight deadline. So I spent like the whole night working on it, and it was just like, what the heck. And when I say whole night, I mean I was genuinely up till like 6 in the morning for that, I think. It was just huge. So I woke up the next day. I don't even remember what date the next day was. I feel like it might have been like mildly important, just because I do remember we went out to eat at a buffet. My dad likes going to buffets, so it might have been his birthday actually. I just can't really remember. Or maybe it was like close to his birthday. Or maybe Johnny just wanted crabs. I do like crabs. We do, or I guess we do like crabs. We're a very like crab is better than lobster household. Crab is tasty. Anyways, but yeah, I was just like really tired, and I'm just there like on my tablet, like I want to get this finished or something. But it was really pretty, and I'm still really proud of the background too. It was just like super nice. I actually use it for the back of my website. If I go ahead and pull it up, because why not? I'm decently proud of it. I don't know anything about graphic design, but this was nice. Yeah, this is my website. You can. This is the background for the Over the Garden Wall piece. It was a lot. There was so much going on here. But yeah, I like it a lot. I'm proud of it. Here we go. Oops. And then what else happened in Stardew? So in our private file, we're on year 3 already, and we did unlock Ginger Island. So we're trying to figure out, because it kind of feels like right now that we unlocked it a little too fast, because it's really hard to leave the farm, because we have like the animals and everything, but it's like the animals get a little grumpy when you don't pet them, so we're trying to like see if we can get auto petters for the animals, so we don't have to worry too much about it, because again, it's just hard to leave the farm, and it's like, it's way more fun on Ginger Island if like both of us are there at the same time. So we're trying to get that going, but it's really, really tough. I think the last time we played, I tried to go see if I can find some golden walnuts to see if we can start unlocking, like, the second farmhouse there. But it's really hard. Because it's like, where do I even go? But it is exciting. We still have to get the movie theater, too. Movie theater, I think, has just been like, we're a little slow on that, just because the last thing we need is like caviar and a Silver Star wine or something like that. And it's like, we think it's gonna be pretty easy, but we haven't really done it yet. I'm not sure where our wine is actually. I'm sure it's in one of the storage sheds, but I don't remember. We'll have to see if anything is there. Alright. Abigail and her horns, or that's her horns done, not her, not the rest of her. Yeah, I'm excited to work on the comic. I just need to figure out how I'm gonna get it onto my computer. Yeah, I could just email the PSDs to myself and just save it there, but I do like the cloud benefit of just being able to work on it on like different devices and not worry about it too much. Alright, what's going on here? I'm gonna have to do this spot first, I think, just because there's a lot going on, like in this area. There's a lot of noise, and I kind of just need to figure out like where each thing is kind of supposed to go right now. I think that should be good. And let's see. I'm gonna decrease this to 15 just to get that like nice and precise where I need it to be, and then I'll thicken it up. I feel like with every piece my line art just gets a little bit thicker, and I'm just like, why do I do this to myself? Another thing, there's another artist who visits like the game store. She's sort of a regular customer on Mondays, so she asked me like, oh yeah, how's the whole thing going? I'm like, it's going pretty good. I'm trying to work up like an inventory to like actually sell at like markets, art markets or conventions or events and everything. And she's just like, just skip the inventory stuff for now. Just start applying. And I'm like, I don't have a lot to apply with at the moment. Like I kind of do, but it's like, I feel like there should just be like a little bit more. I probably won't be going for like an expo or anything. I'll probably just try to see if there's like any more local art markets. I kind of want these more square actually, so I'm gonna do that, and then keep going like that. But yeah, when I looked into like this thing that a mall that's sort of nearby does, it was just a farmer's market. I don't know if they're gonna take art prints if I try applying for that. And then I literally don't know anything else. I know there's a Ren Fair happening in the summer, and I'm just like, I could try for that, but it's like they want pictures of a booth, and I'm like, I don't have a booth. But the employees, the game store people did offer like, yeah, if you just want to like borrow one of the tables here, just like do like a quick setup, like this is the general idea. And I'm like, oh my god, that's perfect. So I think sometime this week I'm gonna make sure I run down to Staples, get some prints going, and just like sort of make like a mock-up of like what I would want that table to look like. And I'm hoping I'll be able to. I don't have high hopes, but I am like hopeful that like something will happen, because I am determined this year. Okay, so because, in these ones where it sort of dips, that's where I'll put like this bit of the twine, and then this one, I want it to come back all the way up, so I don't have to make the sword all crooked. I think, at least. Not all the way that up, oh my god. Don't you guys just love when line art just doesn't listen to you, or it's like you're trying to follow your sketch and you don't even remember like what exactly you sketched? It happens to me like all the time. I don't know what it is, but it's like I will sketch it and it's so clear, like the night that I sketch it, and then I go to bed and I wake up and I start drawing. I'm like, what did I do here? Like, what was the vision? Erase this. No, I think this is the end of this. So this is part of like the sword cloth now. I wanted to give her like a great sword, something like very like two-handed. Actually did pull mine out for reference to see like where I should put it. It was just kind of tough because it's like on one hand I don't want the sword jutting out all the way over here because it's just gonna get cut off, and already it's like it's such a tight space that it's kind of hard to figure out where like the arms and everything and joints are supposed to go if I like have her hand more up here. But then I thought about it, I was like, no, I should have the hand more up there, and then I got lazy and I was like, no, it's fine. It's fine. I would rather have more of like this visible like against her than I think this part anyways. I just gestured like with my hands on screen like what I wanted, like you guys can see it. I want this more visible rather than this, I think, just because it's like, it's a sword. Like, yeah, you'll probably be able to tell that it's a sword by, if, like, even if it was like you only saw like this part, but it's like, I want it to be like a great sword, so it should be like a big one. I'm also fairly proud of the D&D one-shot that I wrote for the store that was supposed to be used like this week, but it's fine if I use it next week. No one showed up. We were kind of all thinking like maybe it was the weather, because we did actually get a bit of rain over the weekend. Just a little bit, like just a day. So I think maybe people just wanted to like stay home, which is fair. I probably would have wanted to stay home too. I don't like going out on rainy days most of the time, just maybe for like dinner. And the one shot that I have right now, loosely inspired by Baldur's Gate for the most part. Different cult. I'm actually kind of proud of the cult. I don't do like a lot of research into like how cults are started, or like how people get indoctrinated into them in general. But generally all it is, what it is that like a really charismatic person convinces you to listen to them. That is like the very gross oversimplification of it. And I thought like a cult surrounding like the concept of greed would be an interesting thing, so I got to world build a little bit in the world I made, which is always fun. I love doing that. And so readjust myself again. So so the cult in my little comic world started like sort of centuries ago, to the point where I guess you could probably call it a religion, but it kind of is just a cult. Well, the cult was initially like started kind of around like a green dragon who kind of like forced mortals around her to give up all their possessions under like a sort of false promise of like protection and shared wealth, because it's like the basic idea is like, okay, well, if I own it, if we put like all our things together and we own everything, then together we are strong. It's very much just communism, I think. Which I thought would be like a really like fun thing. And basically, the dragon all these centuries ago ended up succeeding in her goal. She's very much like evil, and she was not able to be stopped, and she did end up ascending into godhood after this. So fast forward to present day in the world building, there are still like her followers just trying to do like a similar thing, just like amass like a lot of like underlings to sort of like gather all kinds of like possessions and stuff, and just kind of enforce themselves that way, which I thought was fun. I love the thing too. When I write my D&D like anything, be it like an actual session, part of a campaign, or just a one shot, the way I like to separate it out is in like scenes. And I always like to title the scenes too. I never read them out for the players. They're kind of just for me personally, which is helpful because sometimes I can't think of a scene name, and so the scene name will oftentimes just end up being something ridiculous, like the part of the campaign where we blow stuff up. It'll be something like that. So this time around, I was really proud of the scene names. So the first, scene 1 is like the day is saved, and in context, I swear that makes sense. Scene 2 is like the chase begins, or something like that. Just something very simple, and then like scene 3, after you figure out like it's a cult and you figure out like their lair, like where their whereabouts are, it's called the Dragon's Lair, which is, I think, just a really fun one. But yeah, I like doing that. I've had some like, I think I've had like really good ones.
before. Can't think of. I know for the Druid Eco-Terrorism one, that one, one of the scenes was called Planting the Seeds, and that was the part of the one-shot where my players just kind of like broke into a warehouse and just started placing bombs everywhere. So that was funny. And again, it's not like I read the scene names out to my players, it's just kind of like for me. And it does kind of also help me keep track of like, okay, well, where in the one-shot are we supposed to be, like, right now? So, it's just something fun, I think. No clothing wrinkles kind of look like that sometimes. Like, on, like, sort of, like, long sleeves, like, the long sleeves that aren't, like, super snug to your body. Or your arm, I guess. Something like that. Let's see, what time is it now? 1:11? We are making good time! I wanted to work on a different thing today, but like I said, Medibang Cloud Storage has exceeded the capacity, and I'm gonna have to figure that out. I think all it is that because I just don't want to pay for like a monthly thing, right? There's already so many monthly subscriptions, right? Like everything is like that now, and I'm just like, you just let me pay it like one time. I don't care if it's like $100 or not, just let me do it. And also, it's just, I don't keep up with Medibang, and I'm not accusing them of anything, but I think a lot of like art software companies have just been like really like scummy as of late for some reason. Like didn't Clip Studio Paint or something have like a whole like AI art tool, or was it ArtStation that like started like posting AI art, or Wacom last Lunar New Year with like the AI generated dragon art. It's like a whole thing, and it's just, I don't know if Medibang has done anything because I don't keep up with them. All I know is that I like using their service for free because it means if they do something bad, they're not getting a dime out of me. And that's kind of all it is. So it's like, I really don't want to subscribe because one, to save money, two, it's like, I don't know if Medibang has done anything like a little suspicious in the past. I'm gonna put like a thing there just so I know that this is like a bit of cloth. And then... yeah, and I also just don't feel like paying for art. I think Procreate is fine. Procreate is fine. It's insanely like affordable too for like a one-time purchase, and like there's so much on Procreate. I love it. I just wish the iPad screen on mine wasn't so bad. I'm gonna raise this up a little bit actually, just because I recognize that this is part of the chest plate. And then just erase some of that. This is what I like about line art. You can like kind of sculpt line art, which I think is cool. Oh no, that was Wacom, the drawing tablet company. It's ArtStation. Yeah, one-time purchases. I miss that so much. Yeah, I don't... like I said, I don't know if Medibang has done anything, like, remotely as bad. But, at the same time, it's like, I don't feel like looking into it, and I just also just don't feel like paying for it. I mean, I think I make enough money to, like, warrant it, but at the same time, I'm just like... what if I just don't, though? What if I just... is there a way for me to pirate Medibang Premium? I guess, too, like, in another sense, if I paid for Medibang Premium, I don't usually... like, I'll get the free trial brushes when they're here, because they're kind of, like, only here, like, the one time. But they have all these other brushes here. I was hoping expanding would, like, make the picture bigger, but it doesn't. And, like, some of them look nice. I feel like I would enjoy some of these, but some of them also are just like, when would I ever use this? Not that I know it's always in a great free software. If CSP does not
if Clip Studio Paint does fuck up for me, I refuse to upgrade. I will go back to Medibang mood. Alright, so it's good to know that Medibang hasn't involved themselves in some kind of hilarity ensues kind of moment. Like, some of these are nice, right? Like, these roses look incredible. And maybe I would want to use them. But I can't figure out how I would use them is the problem. They won't really fit with my thing. This lawn... If I had premium, let me think. Maybe 3 or 4 years ago, I would be using this just because backgrounds are so hard for me. But I know how to plant, or I know how to paint very nice nature scenes already, so it's I don't need it. Yeah, some of these are really nice, but it's just some of these I don't know if I would use it, because I have a very set style already. I know what I want out of it, and the style that I have, the brushes I have are set. I see. It's this is nice, right? The frills and everything with all the, it's partially rendered already and stuff. But it's I can draw that. Not to dog on artists who use these kinds of brushes, but it's I can draw that. It's I don't necessarily need that. I'd rather take the time. Maybe this is useful. But then I think at that point for me, when it comes to my style, it's if I needed to do something like this, I think I would just end up painting it anyways. These are nice. These are nice because I do want to make a webcomic. Let's see. Some of these are just cute stamps, I think. This I would definitely use for cute Halloween art. This would have been so nice for Astarion's default armor in Baldur's Gate 3. Because good lord, there was a lot of swirlies in there. I just ended up simplifying it. But yeah, I think some of these would be nice to study off of, probably. But I don't know if I would use it. Because I know the way Medibang programs their brushes too, in a sense, and it's sometimes I don't like it. Sometimes it's oh, you can scatter it, you can make it a scatter brush, or you can make it a pattern, and it's I am not looking for either of these. It's alright though. These are nice. These are really nice at the end of the day. It's just a matter of I don't want to just buy for the expanded cloud storage, I think. I don't know if I would be realistically using a lot of these. Probably great for comic artists though. I can also draw those after 2 hours of struggling. I'm trying to reduce the use of brushes like those since they don't really work well with my style. Yeah, I get you. I always think it's interesting when artists have oh, I used my water brush to paint the water highlights on this thing, and I'm you guys get brushes for that? Cause all of my effects, yeah, while I have some brushes with certain textures to help me out, they're all hand done. Most, not all of them, but most of them are hand painted. For example, the mermaid one that I show off sometimes. The water highlights there, those were done by hand. What else? Any fire effects I do are also hand painted. Hello, Kira, welcome. Wonderful to see you here as always. I hope you had a great day. I know it's nighttime for you guys. But it's it's just kind of interesting to me because it's I'm glad you guys are getting brushes so that you can do the cool effects, because I'm not getting them. Not without paying at least, and I don't want to pay for it. there's like a brush for everything these days, and I think that's crazy. That is all. Alright, I think that's looking pretty good so far. It's the Stardews as D&D. Surprisingly, yes, at least with CSV there's thousands of user-made brushes and materials you can download. Some do cost currency, but they are so worth it. Oh yeah, I believe it. The people who make their own brushes, I have mad respect for that, because I cannot well, I've done it a few times, but they're not like anything special. But yeah, no. Then I feel like too, like, because another thing is like, you can program brushes, like you don't just you don't just have to like paint onto onto a canvas and then save that canvas as a brush. You can program them, and I think people are absolutely cracked for like when they do stuff like that, and I'm just like, I don't get it. Let's see. Let's look at the brushes that I've made. This was sort of supposed to be like a holographic thing. I think if I change the color to like a yellow real quick. Yeah, you can like see it. Because I needed it for like the reflection on like a bubble. But it was really hard to get it right. Thank you, I'm still EP because of the alarm, but otherwise fine. How about you? I'm doing good too. We're drawing as usual. We complimented a bunch of art earlier on stream, so now we're just vibing. And we'll be going to like a little birthday lunch after this. I made a chainmail brush too, because it was just a little bit faster doing this. And this isn't even actually how chainmail is supposed to look, but it worked with my style, so I wanted to do that. Let's see, what else was there? Yeah, I didn't really make like a lot. There was just sort of like this that I use on occasion, but it wasn't like super good. There was a thing for Astarion's armor, and it didn't really work out either. There was another thing for Astarion's armor, because he has two different patterns actually. And I think the rest of anything that I've made is just like these sort of stamps for like background stuff. There was one though, okay, so there's like this one brush. It's a spatter watercolor brush. I use it for stars most of the time. But I needed something just like a little bit different for a more shaved beard texture. So this was one that I made off of this one. Just because like I needed something that was more concentrated, and this one wasn't, but I didn't feel like messing with the settings, so I just made this. So that was fun. That was silly, and it worked out well. I've only made one brush, and it's just an image material of my watermark as a seamless pattern. I often use it for my ref sheets. Oh, that is smart. That is smart. No, I just used the text tool for my watermarks. I'm gonna regret having like a really, really small watermark one day, but that day isn't today. That's a problem for future me to deal with. Oh yeah, actually, just remembered. So I've been tumbling rocks for like 2 months now. And the first batch was not necessarily a failure because it wasn't necessarily my fault. National Geographic, they have their own like, oh, you can tumble your own rocks with this kit. And, well, yes I can. Their stage 4, their polish, was not nearly fine enough. As it turns out, you want like almost like a really silky smooth, what's it called? Powder for that. So when I got my polish, it was like very clear, like there was a difference between it. It was like white, it was sticking to the bag, and I was like, okay, so these rocks are actually gonna polish this time. So the reason why it took 2 months was because by the time the first batch had finished their stage 3.5, I'm gonna call it, there was not nearly enough volume in the barrel to fill it out. Like they would just get so small, I think, if I put them in the polish. And then, if I put new ceramic media in there to cushion it out, there simply just wouldn't be, or new media has a you risk scratching rocks. Oh my god. Get out of here, bot. Nope, there we go. Ban. Get out of here. But anyways, so this new ceramic media has a chance of scratching your rocks if they're in stage 3 or 4. For stage 4 being the polish stage and stage 3 being pre-polish. So I needed to tumble a whole new batch of rocks. Yeah, rip bot. So I needed to polish tumble a whole new batch of rocks. But we got some really nice ones. Here's like an amethyst. I have to wait for the stream to load. That came out. This is one of the Dalmatian jaspers. A lot of the jaspers didn't take too much of a sheen. I'm not sure if that's just the nature of jasper, but they're still really shiny. There's one in here that I really, really want to show off because it looks nice. So I'm sure you guys like know about like the concept of like worry stones and stuff. I like you just basically like rub your finger on them to sort of like stim. Because I know for me, I like to scratch at my face a lot, and I've talked about this before, and it's really bad. But a worry stone or a palm stone, you can just kind of like run your finger over it, and it's nice. So there was one rock in my collection. When I found it, it was perfectly like not cut in half necessarily, but it was just naturally like open, like cut open. And this is how it turned out. It's so glossy, it's so shiny, and the coolest thing is that there's like a whole chunk of like quartz inside of it, and like even on like the outside there's like some veins running through it, like right here. I don't know how well the camera is picking that up, but it's so pretty, it's so smooth, it's so shiny, and I'm just like, this is gonna make literally like the best like fidget toy ever. Everything else, I'm not sure what I'm gonna do. I'm running out of like spots to like put my rocks in. But yeah, a lot of them came out super nice. There's like some that are most definitely like very rough around the edges still. Like there was a tiger's eye that I was like really disappointed because like the flat sides of it polished really nicely, but like sort of like side edges didn't. And I'm just like, that's so sad. So I think what I'm gonna do when I decide that I want to tumble rocks again is I'm going to put those to the side, and then whenever I get my next batch going, when they get up to stage 4, I'm gonna put them back in there and hope that it works out. And speaking of tumbling rocks, I actually don't know what kind of rocks I want to tumble yet. I know I want to give it a break because my dad was like upset that I was like, I had my rocks tumbling for like 2 months, and I'm like, I know, I didn't want to tumble them for 2 months, but something stupid happened, so I had to start a whole other batch of rocks, and like each stage takes like a week to 10 days, so actually no, I think stage 1 is 5 days, and then stage 2 and 3 are a week, and then stage 4 is 10 days. I think that's the way I wanted to do it. So that was a whole thing. So I'm most definitely not gonna be like buying like raw crystals for a little bit. I should probably turn some of these into jewelry anyways. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited. I think a lot of them turned out really pretty. Like, let me see if I can just reach in here and I'm a little... I feel like maybe I shouldn't have put them in a bag, but I need time to, like, space it out. Like, this one was a nice one. I don't think it's any kind of, like, special rock. It's just kind of, like, brown. Didn't take too... It actually took... But it took the polish, like, super well. It's, like, just a really nice big chunk of, like, shiny brown rock that I have now. There's a huge... I know there's also, like, a huge amethyst in here. It's kind of shaped like a tooth. It's kind of too big to where I can't really do anything with it. And I kind of like it for that. But yeah, I had a lot of fun. I think I don't think I would want to order more rocks actually. I would want to go like camping. In California, there's a spot called Needles. The Colorado River actually runs through it, so even though it's like a desert, you have like this whole like body of water there, so it's still like pretty lush for a desert at the end of the day. And I remember we used to go there when I was like in middle school. I think that was mostly when we were doing like the whole camping trips and everything. And like they were sort of yearly, but like we kind of stopped after a certain point. I really liked those trips. I really liked looking for rocks in the river because of course that's what I did. And that is where I ended up finding like one of my favorite stones. It's just this brown store with like these sort of like white stripes going through it. And because it's from the river water just sort of like eroded it, so it's like super smooth and super flat, like a perfect stone for skipping, but also a really nice stone for a necklace. I've showed it off before, so I won't get like too much into that, but I miss camping. I've been like saying like I want to go camping again, I want to go fishing, I want to go to the mountains, I want to do something, because it's just I missed a lot. Let's see. The last time we went to Needles, we actually just rented, I think, not necessarily a cabin, but just sort of like this house kind of thing there. They had a pool, which was funny because literally in the back of the backyard of the house was the river. So it's like, I don't know why there's a pool here, but okay. The thing about the pool though, I forget who was in the pool exactly. I don't know if it was like my cousins or anyone else. I don't know if it was Johnny or Clive. But basically, they were like, they're like really little kids. Not really little kids, but like the little kids, younger cousins or something, younger family members. They're in the water of the pool, and for some reason they're like low-key like drinking it. Or I think what it was like they would like submerge underwater and like sort of like lick around their face or something. And it's like, I don't know why they were doing that, but they were saying stuff like, oh, well, it tastes kind of funny. Lo and behold, like a few feet behind them, there is a dead mouse in the pool. And it's like, guys. But I don't think anything ever happened to them, but it was just like, ew, guys. Why are you like this? There we go. You see a little bit of Abigail's tail there. I wanted to include it. It was like, man, that was gross. Another thing that happened when we were at that house, another thing that happened, we found an actual living, crayfish or crawfish? You guys know what I'm talking about. Freshwater crustacean that's like that kind of looks like a miniature lobster. I forget if it's crayfish or crawfish. They might be the same thing. I don't know. But point being, we found one of those. It was alive and living. I don't know if I have a picture of it. I want to see if I have a picture of it. Oh, Google Photos. Scroll all the way down, because I have some like really old pictures in here. I just don't know how old. The way that Apple used to date some of the images when you save them is hilarious. No, yeah, because this should have been in middle school, and I think all of these are just after middle school already. What's this picture? Man, it's a shame it's so low quality, because I can't even see like who's supposed to be in there anymore. Yeah, a lot of this is high school already, so I don't think I have the picture of the little fishy dude anymore. But it was really cool to see that. I think when I found it, I was like making jokes to my mom, like, "Mom, we found dinner!"
Like Kyra put it back. Yeah, I'll do the tail first. I want to make sure I can avoid a tangent here. We'll avoid tangents in art, but not on stream. Do that, and then... No, that's not even centered with the tip. God, this is so hard. What happens if I just erase it? Does it look believable? If I just bring this down a little bit more and then erase this part, I think that helps it a lot, actually. This is the tough part about line art. It's like these tangents that you just don't really want to have, but they're low-key a little, like, unavoidable. You can, like, kind of skirt around it if you're just, like... There we go. I think that should be good. Alright. I love ink. I mentioned earlier that I did some inking yesterday. I think I'd like to show that off a little bit. I spent, like, some time buying, like, art supplies one day, and then I just kind of got busy and wasn't able to get around to it, but, the lady who was at the game store demanded that I get on with it. And I'm like, yeah, I probably should get on with it. So I went to Google last night, found some images, and this is kind of what I did. Let me switch this to the OBS view. I don't think I need to worry too much about having a creator dashboard on. But yeah, I finally have a fountain pen that is not a writing pen, which is nice because the artist pen flexes so much more, so I can get more of that line depth. Let me see if I can get this nice on camera. I'm gonna show off the snake first since it looks like it's like right there. This was a lot of fun to do, just like all the scale details and everything. You'll be able to see these better when they go live tomorrow for the art post. Yeah, they look amazing. Thank you, Kira. You're so kind. Then I started, actually, the apple was the first thing that I did after, like, some, like, test doodles up here. I think the apple looks good. Just, like, I figured the style that I'm trying to copy, like, really pushes, like, these dark spaces, so I wanted to make sure, like, I included dark spaces. This little bit right here, actually, was a mistake, because when I was trying to, like, trace it down, the pen went off to the side, and I was just like, no! And then the horn was just, like, done without reference, and you can kind of tell. And, like, there was, like, a little blob over here, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. But yeah, I'm proud of these. I think it's a good, like, day one. Snake's fitting since it's Chinese New Year. You did a great job on these. Yeah, speaking of Chinese New Year, I am supposed to be making Lunar New Year art. That's what I would have wanted to work on today, had it not been for the fact that Medibang said, fuck you, your storage is full, now you gotta pay us, and I'm just like, I'll just figure it out tomorrow after stream, or later tonight. I think tonight I will actually be, clipping all of the stuff for the art compliments. I want people to see them. I think, not that I have anything interesting to say, but I think when people are able to say more than like, oh, cute art, it's like very, like, it makes me really happy. Not that I'm like ungrateful for the compliment or anything, because it's like, oh, I'm so glad you think that it's cute. But when you can say like, I think it's just nice when people like are able to say a little bit more. And I think all it is just like social media is exhausting, and it's hard, sometimes it's just hard to say something about art. because it's like, you know it's good, but it's like you have your character limits, and sometimes it's like maybe you're not feeling particularly like you don't want to say anything. So I just want to give like an opportunity for people to hear like really like insightful and really nice things about their art, because I think a lot of artists just end up not getting that luxury. I know for me, it's like, I don't get a lot of comments on my art, and I'm okay with that. Because I know for me, it's hard for me to leave comments too, but I can at least, like, yap about it on stream and then share it with that person and be like, this is what I think about your art. I think your art is great. In its own wonderful and unique way. I'm glad that, like, the more beginner artists are, like, willing to share too. Because I think it's hard to put yourself out there as a beginner artist. I think people just want to like have like their art be good like the first time through. I think that's just because of like how much like people out there are just already like they already know like all the things and stuff. So I think to be like a beginner and like still put your stuff out there is very like inspiring and brave. I feel like there's just like really like